Thank you for listening to the Black Delegates Podcast. Rate, review, share.
Yo, Herb, take it from the top. 1, 2. My mic sound nice. Check 1. My mic sound nice. Check 2. My mic sound nice. Check 3. Are you ready?
Welcome to the Black Delegates Podcast. Today's date is November the 22nd, 2020. We're on episode 135. Episode 135. I am your host, the Black Ryan. I'm here with my co-host, my favorite dudes in the world, Ghetto Phenom.
What's good? What's good?
Box Wine Poppy.
Yo, don't ever call me one of your favorite dudes. That sounds weird, man. I respect it, but don't call me that.
You can't say nothing to your friends when you're a dude, man. It's trash.
So what do you want to say to your dudes? Let's get into it, man. What do you want to say?
No,
to your dudes, man?
you literally can't say nothing. You can't do nothing.
But what do you want to say?
Dapping, you can just dap them up, and that's it.
You want to say hold me? What do you want to say?
Like them. Don't say, hey, this is my friend. Don't ever say friend.
Don't ever say I like to snuggle. What do you want to say to us, man? Let us know, man.
Don't talk about your feelings. Don't ask about theirs. Don't care about their lives. And I'll be at your funeral. That's kind of what y'all do.
Don't come to my funeral. I told you, don't be at my funeral, man.
Don't even be at my funeral.
Don't come to my funeral.
Wow. All right. You feel the same, Phenom? So, I don't like funerals anyway.
Yeah, I'm not having one. So,
word? You serious?
I told my wife if I'd go before she does, I do not want a funeral.
Yeah, because
seriously, wow.
Because dude's thirsty out here, man. I can't be having you at the funeral. I can't leave you around my girl at the funeral. No, man, don't come to my funeral. Nobody's invited. Get out of here with that.
It's crazy.
Have a memorial service, maybe. But I told her, I said, go on, get me cremated. You ain't got to do all this, coughing and having makeup and putting on clothes and all that. Just like
right.
All that is just too much. And like you said, I'm not a fan of going to them. So I'm like, why would I subject other people to have to go to them? I know some people like it or some people need it, but that's why I say maybe a memorial service, or actually I said, I need to start recording like a minute long video every year or something. And then
just be like, yo, I'm dead.
Stream it together, like have my own message, like, yo.
I'm gonna have my own message too. Hey, it's gonna play for all you do. Hey, stay away from mine. Don't touch my family. Don't hug my wife up at the funeral. Don't do nothing, man.
Come on, man. What you talking about?
No, man. Can't trust you, man. You know how dudes are. Dudes be like, let me get this hug, man. Let me talk about, I'll do it. If you need anything, just call, man. No, I can't trust. Don't tell him.
Nobody that's your real friend. Your real friends are never gonna slide in on your wife like that, man. Come on.
Hey, there's some diabolical dudes out there, man.
If they were grieving together and
don't grieve with me, don't grieve with my family. Don't grieve with me. Don't grieve with me. Grieve on your own.
Don't even grieve. Okay.
Don't grieve. No.
Wow.
Diabolical, man. I can't trust none of y'all, especially you two.
All right, so our women listeners out there, y'all hearing this crap? This is what we have to deal with. We don't want to share. This is
Ryan, no real words, but like that other group chat you in, okay, let it happen. See what happens over there. There's some dirty dogs over there, man. You know what I'm talking about. Invite them to your funeral. See what happens. And you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about.
Okay, so there we go. But you know them disgusting dudes gonna find out about that. See that obituary, they be like, oh, let me slide up in here. Slide up in here so I can slide up in here. Disgusting.
All right. So,
hey, at that point, I'm dead and gone, so can't do nothing about it.
That's on her. All right. So, that's a crazy intro. But that's okay.
I don't can't, man. Look, I'm coming back from the grave. I believe in ghosts then. I don't believe in ghosts now, but I would believe in ghosts then. I will come back and haunt you, man. Don't get no ideas.
Hey, you deserve it if you're doing that. Actually, I remember I watched a movie like that, like what is it called? Dang it, I can't remember, of course, because I'm old. But that y'all used to it if you listen to this podcast. But it was one of those type movies where the chick died, and for some reason I don't remember because I stopped watching. I didn't think it was that good. But they were reanimated or whatever, like literally climbed up out their graves. Mm-hmm. And so she found her husband, or her husband bumped into her, kind of because he's a cop in the area, and he's just like, "Yo, like." I'm married now. And she's like, oh, really? So she goes back to her house eventually just because she's just curious what's going on. Or, you know, and it was her friend. And they had got together after like a year. Because he was just like, yeah, we both were grieving. Yep. Yeah, she's like, we both were grieving. And and I get that. I wouldn't even be mad, man, for real, to be honest.
Man, you tripping. No, I'm telling you, again, I'm coming back and again, don't get anything. First of all, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna come out of the
You're dead, man. It's over with.
And I'm gonna haunt you, man. It ain't gonna be no ghost. It ain't gonna be no Patrick Swayze. Y'all ain't gonna be sitting there doing the making the little vase out of the little clay putty thing, man. Ain't gonna be no happiness, man. I'm telling you now. I'm coming to get you.
So don't leave Paul's ashes on the mantle. Don't leave it there.
It don't matter, man. I'm gonna be everywhere, man. I'm gonna be like the boogeyman, Jason Voorhees, whatever you want. Do what you want with my ashes. It ain't gonna matter. I'm coming back.
All right. So let's get into this week in blackness. Paul, I'm gonna let you start it off, man. Your week in brownness. Did you do anything? No, nobody's doing nothing these days. At least you should.
Didn't do nothing, man. Just chilling here. And give a quick update about my family, man. Like, man, we've had. So I told y'all, I think y'all remember I said we had 2 people die in the family last week, man. We've had 5 people total.
Oh my God.
3 more this week. And then on top of that, we had a 6th person so they had this person, I won't get too deep into it, but had stage 4 cancer. I found out very recently it was like a father of my wife's, a father of a cousin's, wife's cousin's husband. Anyway, but when they went to the hospital, it didn't kill them, I guess, but they did have COVID when they went to the hospital, and they passed like just the other night, man. So we've had like 4 people die in the last week, man.
Wow.
3 from COVID, and they were all older, and then a 4th person that I don't think it was the direct reason they died, but they did have it when they died. So maybe it accelerated a few days or weeks. I don't really know, but man, that's just how it's going, man. So yeah, crazy, man. And you can't even have funerals and stuff like that. Like the one lady I was telling you about the other week, she's been dead for 2 weeks now, and and because her husband died on Friday, like there's like trying to figure out next of kin and all this stuff like that. It's all kind of complicated stuff like that. So they still got her in the morgue, on ice, whatever like that. They haven't buried her yet, man. 2 weeks later, man. So it's just crazy, man. Just trying to figure all this stuff out. And yeah, so that's how it's been going here, man. So like in the literal last few, and I've been texting Ryan when I, let the night when I get free and something happened, I'll be like, yeah, man, this and that. So like, man, it just went from like 2, and it's like, okay, that's a lot. And then like, man, now we're talking about like 5, 6, man. It's crazy, man. So that's it, man.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. That's rough, but it's definitely, things are picking up, and it's definitely spreading. And, unfortunately, we go into the holiday season. A lot of people are still going forward traveling with their Thanksgiving plans, some are traveling, some are, staying home, but still having a gang of people over. I think until people have sort of those type of experiences where you're losing people in your family that mm-hmm. A lot of people just aren't going to take it seriously.
Yeah, man. I mean, again, these are all like extended family members, right. or family friends, or I should and things like that. But like, up until now, it's all been like, oh, okay, it's like someone, a friend of a friend, a auntie of a cousin, or something of a married, it's all been like these 6 degrees of separation. But now it's like, man, just like in this last week or 2. Like a call. Literally like 2 or 3 a day. Just like it's been the last 2 days or something like that. So I don't know, man. Just crazy. That's how it's going. But yeah, we definitely going over for Thanksgiving. We got our food together. We trash because we really ain't trying to cook too much. I'm gonna make a ham, which is ham. Like how can you mess up a ham? That's easy. But
just warming it up.
Well, yeah, we'll just warm it up. That's all you gotta do. When we get like a honey baked ham or a turkey from Honey Baked Ham, we're getting that, and then some sides. So we just kind of getting prepared. But like, yeah, man, no families really asked to come visit us, and we were like, we're gonna tell people like, hey, if y'all want to come see us, nah, yeah, we'll do it next year. Don't even bother come mess with us. So we just chilling here, man. Weather's been nice. Chilling with the immediate family here and stuff like that, and just kind of thinking about that craziness, man. But yeah, man. Other than that, it's been a pretty quiet week, man. A little depressing, but it'll get better. What about y'all?
Yeah, our prayers with you, man. So,
100. Yeah, I'll jump in here. Matter of fact, because you mentioned Honey Baked Ham, and that actually sparked another thing that I wasn't at the top of mind to talk about, but since you mentioned it, so one of the things I did, I had to go to Honey Baked Ham this week to get the turkey. We're kind of doing the same. We're just staying at the crib. You know, we said we're not going over any family. We're not having family over. We can do the Zoom or whatever, FaceTime duo. We could do any of that, but it's just going to be me and the wife at home. But she still want to do the turkey and, you know, do different sides or whatever. So at my previous job, I used to get a free turkey, or I could get a turkey or ham during Thanksgiving, and then I could get one or the other on Christmas. And maybe Thanksgiving I had to pay. Maybe it wasn't even free, but for Christmas I got it free. But so anyway, every year I would get a Cajun turkey from Honey Baked Ham, and the mugs is straight fire.
Oh, really?
So now that I'm not with that employer anymore, and I wasn't going to get it delivered to me through work, you know, the wife was like, yo, you know,
where's my free turkey?
And so, you know, Popeye's got a turkey. And so we thought about that.
But it comes with a lot of attitude. Are you willing to
maybe
put that to get said turkey?
But you know it's going to be fire.
Out of there.
Right, but you know it's going to be fire. So we're like, do we get the Cajun that we know and love, or do we try the Popeyes? So she actually went up to Popeyes. Of course, Popeyes is ghetto, so you can't like order it online. You had to like either go to the restaurant or call the restaurant.
Oh,
so
God.
She went up there. They said they were sold out. You know, it was going like the chicken sandwich. They said mug sold out like hella early. Like as soon as people heard they got it.
Is it fried?
I don't know. I don't know. It was sold out by the time we checked on it, and it wasn't a lot of information other than, you know, it was a Cajun style turkey. So then I was like, all right. I was like, well, let's just go get the Honey Baked Ham. I just go, you know, pay for it, pick it up. So I ordered it, and I went to pick it up Saturday. They had like incentive. Matter of fact, I didn't even get my coupon. It was supposed to be like if you went early, they give you a coupon for, you know, something off, which I just realized I didn't get that. But anyway, I go up there to the restaurant, and I go in, tell the guy my name or whatever. Takes him a while. He finally figures out, and he's like, okay, 1 Cajun turkey. And he's like, he goes back to go get it. And then he stops and he's like, oh, shoot. And he was like, is it any other kind of turkey you want? Do you want just a honey baked turkey or a smoked turkey? And I was like, I'm shaking my head like, nope, gots to be that Cajun, bro. I was like, I will not accept anything else. And he's like, oh man. He's like, all right, hold on. So he went to the back. He's like, I got to talk to the manager. So he went to the back.
He put some loud receivers
to the manager. Right.
Yeah. He was trying to get me to come up off that Cajun turkey, and I was like, no. I told him, I said, if I come home without a Cajun turkey, I was like, it's not gonna turn out good for me, bro. I was like, the wife want that, she need that, gotta have it. So he goes in the back. He's like, man, we just had like we just had a big order. And, you know, we don't have that many in the store. And I was like, hey, I don't know what you got to do, but I'm going to need that Cajun turkey, dog.
Hey, I ain't leaving here. You better get your hands.
He folded his arms and put one foot forward to let him know you were serious.
Right. I don't want no problems. All you got to do, I registered it online in advance. I'm going to need that turkey. So he goes back. He's talking to the manager. He comes back. Of course, this black dude. His eyes are big. He's like, he even said it out loud. He mouthed it like, "You lucky." And so he has the turkey, he has the Cajun turkey. And he brings out, he's like, "Oh, bro, you lucky, man. You lucky." He's like, "She told me to go and give it to you." And he's like, we had somebody order 15 Cajun turkeys, and that's all we got in the store. He's like, "So I don't know what they're gonna do when they come up." And I'm just like, "Hey, that ain't my problem." Like,
Word.
and I'm like, if
Are
somebody
they
ordered,
scalping turkeys? What's that?
I don't know,
15.
but that's what I'm saying. If somebody ordered 15 turkeys,
But like, so like, well, how my wife, because we got to get a honey turkey, and look, if I can't get no honey turkey, like I got to pick up tomorrow. They said I couldn't even pick mine up on Wednesday. I got to pick mine up tomorrow. It ain't there, I'll be mad, but you order in advance. So like, what I don't understand what the problem is. If you order 15, like what they say, you just pick up like that, like 5 minutes from now, like that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? The way it seems to be is like you got to pick up days, and put the order in, and then days in advance you come get it. So
maybe they're supposed to be there and they ain't show up.
Like just hop the line like that. That's crazy.
well, I think because even like when I got mine, like my intent was to get on there to buy it, pay for it, and then just go pick it up. But it never even gave me the option to pay for it. It was just like, once I put in my information, it was like, basically come pick it up Saturday, like you're pre-registered or whatever it said.
Oh.
And so
I
haven't
paid for mine either. I haven't paid for mine either. I think I got to pay for it when I pick it up on tomorrow. I got to pick it up tomorrow though. But
but he was saying, because he asked me when I first got there, he's like, "Did you pay for it already? Is it prepaid or pre-registered?" And I was like, "Pre-registered, I guess." I said, "It never gave me the option to pay." That was the first thing he asked me when I walked in. So I don't know if the person with 15 had paid or not, but I'm just still, if this person got 15 and I got 1, give me my 1. Because even if he get 14, he gonna be cool. You know what I'm saying? So was able to get that Cajun turkey. So I didn't have to throw hands with the man at Honey Baked Ham.
Yo, I'm convinced, but I'm convinced Honey Baked Ham. Like, man, I don't see how they stay open because like they open up all year long. But like, I'm just convinced they make like 99.99997% of all their income on the day before Thanksgiving. It's got to be how it works, right?
And
but
Christmas.
For real, they be
good
having
though.
some fire sandwiches up in there, man.
Yeah, they've had. I've seen there used to be like a place in there where I used to get my hair cut, and there was a Honey Baked Ham near there. And I'd see people in there eating lunch every now, but I was like, yeah, I ain't ever going to eat there to get a lunch. But like Thanksgiving, man, there'd be a line like around the corner, out the door, around the corner, just to pick up something. So I know they got sandwiches, but it's just crazy. You never see people really eating there, other than to pick up Thanksgiving stuff. But I guess that's how they make their money. It's just a little weird, but hey, shouts to them. We definitely gonna be patronizing them for whatever Thanksgiving we stuck in here with this COVID. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm telling you, need next Thanksgiving, you need to get that
Cajun.
That
okay,
Cajun
I got.
joint.
My wife got the honey one. I think it's honey flavor. So
yeah, so that's a main thing. Another, which I won't go into detail. We always talk about home improvement stuff. I was finally able to get. Like I had a ton, and I probably talked about it on the podcast before, a ton of like wild bushes and just crazy stuff growing all up in my yard. I was finally able to get that stuff like cut down. And actually I made this appointment like 3 months ago, but they told me they wouldn't be here till February, unless the weather cooperated where they could get here earlier. So they got here this week, got all these bushes chopped down. I'm like, thank you. They actually left one. And so, I came home and I was looking and I'm like, oh yeah, this looks good. Cause I had like huge bamboo bushes like growing all in my backyard above the fence. Like it was a mess. And
real bamboo.
So your neighbor's actually been hating you all this time.
Pretty much. And those bamboo joints I've cut down before. I paid somebody once.
Is it really bamboo? Is it real bamboo?
They just grow back. I don't know if it's real bamboo. I have no idea.
You would know if it's real bamboo because but like bamboo, like man, you can literally
grow super fast.
Man, you can literally watch it grow. Like you go out there in the morning and go out there in the afternoon, you'll see like that stuff just once bamboo's in your yard, like that stuff just it'll take over your whole yard, yo. That's crazy.
And that's how it was. That might be it then, man. Back corner of my fence. It was just crazy. So anyway. So they cut the stuff down, but I was walking around. I saw it was one bush left. And I'm like, yo, why did they leave this bush here? And I'm like, and I learned a term I didn't know. volunteer trees. That's what they put on paperwork, like remove bushes and volunteer trees. I'm like, what's a volunteer tree? Apparently
Tennessee? It's from Tennessee?
Tree that grows on its from Tennessee. Right.
Go orange.
It's a tree that just kind of grows on its own from, whatever, seeds dropping or whatever. But anyway, so I'm like, why has they got this one bush that they didn't cut down? So I called the guy the next day, or I called that same day. They told me he'd call me back next day. And he's like, oh yeah, we got everything right. Does everything look good? I said, you left one bush. I was like, I don't know why, what happened? And he's like, oh, you mean the one on the right side of the house? He was like, yeah, we didn't know if we were supposed to take that one or not. Now, the paperwork said remove everything on the sides and in the back. I got some bushes in the front that I planted, I kept, but it said move everything. He's like, oh, but that was a nice azalea bush. And, unless we have explicit directions to cut down an azalea bush, we're not going to cut down the azalea. So we just played it safe. And I was like, dude, I don't care if it's a azalea bush. I don't care what kind of, but get that thing up out of here.
Is that one big? Is it ugly?
It wasn't necessarily ugly. It was just all that stuff together was just too much. So I just wanted it all gone. And so he was saying, and then the guy who actually came and did it, I talked to like 2 or 3 people and they were all like, oh yeah, those azalea bushes are really nice. So I guess if you in the bushes, like azalea,
I think we got some. Yeah, we got some.
I've heard of them, so I'm sure some people got them.
We got some.
And it was a nice looking bush, but I was in front of my basement window and I needed it up out of there. So got that gone. So I'm happy.
What are the raccoons gonna do, fam? What are you doing, man? How the raccoons just gonna be chilling, man? You getting rid of all the places to hide out at in your crib, man? That's wrong.
Exactly.
Man, azalea's flower, man. You should keep that.
Nope.
It's gone now. Too late.
Yep, it's gone.
Yeah, they flower and everything. Little like pink. Well, it's different color ones apparently, but they look pretty nice.
Yeah, you tripping, man. You should have kept the azalea. Come on, that's color back there, brother.
Right. I said, I can always plant other stuff. I'm like, I'd rather plant what I want than just have stuff just kind of growing wild and crazy. So I'll do that. Last thing, I won't go into this too long, but Ryan, you might need to check this out. I don't know if you know who Mark Rober is.
Nope.
But it's a dude on YouTube. I was going to put it as a topic, but I was like, well, let me just talk about me watching it. I think it's something you'll be interested in. Apparently, this dude used to work at like NASA. He's a young guy though. And then he quit to make YouTube videos, but he does like
that's crazy
science experiments and stuff. And the first video, my wife was looking at me crazy earlier today because I rarely get on Facebook. I got on Facebook for some reason. And then his video kind of popped up, one of his videos, and it was like a squirrel. It was like a Ninja Warrior course for squirrels that he built.
I see it. Okay.
And so I was like, what is this? And it was just so weird that I just started watching it. And so my wife
it's 21 minutes long. You watched the whole thing?
Yes. Like I watched like 5 minutes on my phone. And then I was like, yo, I'm going to cast this to the TV. Because this is crazy that this dude built a Ninja Warrior course for some squirrels. So I like start watching it. So my wife came down and saw me watching it and was looking at me like, what is going on? And I was like, yo, I was like, this is just interesting. I got to watch it. So I peeped that. That was kind of cool. I peeped another one where he made some elephant soap or elephant toothpaste. Yeah. And so it was just cool. Like this dude does he puts out one video a month. It's all like science based, but it's pretty interesting. So yeah, check him out and let me know.
Dude got millions. Man, these newest videos still got 30 million views. I see 84 million views, 5273. Yeah, he putting up numbers. So he's straight. Right. Forget NASA.
Right. And that's crazy. Like you worked at NASA and quit to make YouTube videos.
Do what you want to do.
So he kind of like the new, what was that show with the scientist dudes?
Mr. Wizard.
No. You talking about the Mythbusters?
Yeah, Mythbusters. Yeah, he kind of like the new generation Mythbusters, but he just do his own stuff.
Well, I guess NASA really ain't doing much. I mean, when's the last time NASA done anything, man? It's all like SpaceX now, man. Like I think they
working together with them because I think the government defunded NASA a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's really been there was a big defunding effort, and it's really like there's nothing going on there. So maybe him leaving, I think maybe it was more mutual than that. There wasn't nothing going on there.
They probably doing more probably with SpaceX than they was doing with NASA, wasting time.
Yeah, that don't seem like a job that like a young person really wants to do.
Right,
like,
it's probably boring as heck.
You got to be 50 to work at NASA. You can't be 23 working at NASA.
I don't know, man. It had to be at a time when, I mean, it's kind of crazy, man. Like, so we talking about this now in 2020, but like, man, if you were a NASA dude in like 1965, like, man, look, you were like a rock star somehow, in some kind of way, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see all the movies and stuff like this. It's interesting how it's come around. This is also what lets me know that there is no maybe there really are no aliens out there, because like I feel like if the government knew there were aliens, they'd put at least some money into NASA. But instead, like for the last 40 years, they haven't nobody goes to work at NASA. So like maybe something's up. I'm not really sure.
We got Space Force, bro.
Man, nobody's. What's the Space Force? No, it doesn't. It's okay. It's a concept, but there's nobody like actually doing. There's nobody's like signed up for Space Force shit. There's no spaceship. There's nothing, man. We don't have no suit. You ain't got no fly uniform. Nothing, man. So like NASA's it, and NASA's been trashed for like 30, 40 years. So I don't know what's going on with that, man.
Allegedly,
but where's it all at, man? And why haven't I been informed?
It's all black money. They can't tell you about these programs. They say,
where's the Starship Troopers outfit? With the bugs. Where's all that stuff at, man? I want to see it, but there ain't none of that, man. So that's what tells me like maybe they know something we don't, man. There ain't nothing out there.
You probably gotta have a top secret clearance.
Look, this is the biggest thing, man. All the stuff about Trump, the president, blah blah. Look, man, if there were aliens, do you think for 1 minute this dude wouldn't have already told us in the last 3.5 years? He would have blabbed the first minute if he got in trouble. Like when that Russia stuff was going on, just to distract, he'd be like, "Hey, there's aliens!" Like just out of the blue, he would have told us. So there ain't no way there ain't no aliens.
The greatest aliens that we've ever seen.
He would sit there and tell you, like, "Look, we killed 3 aliens last night. It was all because of me." He would have said something like that, and he ain't said nothing, man. That lets me know there ain't no aliens, man. Nah,
they know better. They know better, man. They know who's a real president and who's not.
Ryan,
if you can't keep that stuff to yourself, you can't keep that to yourself, man. Ain't nobody finna tell you. I guarantee that's how it works.
I don't think they got a choice, man. He the president. He said,
the president,
"You gotta
anyway.
tell me. You gotta tell me."
Nah.
You don't think so?
No.
Not to get deep into politics, but does Joe Biden keep Space Force, or does he shut that down on day one? What do y'all think?
Space Force was probably just written on a notepad. It was nobody ever did anything with it. Somebody picked that notepad up and walked to the coffee room and threw it in the trash. So like nobody's ever actually talked about that since we talked about it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm actually trying to Google it right now, see if there's anything going on. But like, there's nothing, man. This is all fiction, man.
I saw something about it in the news maybe a couple months ago or a month ago.
It's out.
But anyway.
All right.
What about you, Brian?
My week in blackness, boring as a mug. Ain't doing nothing around here. But that's what everybody's supposed to be doing, supposedly. But apparently only myself and Phenom are the only people that are staying in the house. Everybody else is doing whatever the heck they want to do.
Word.
And so during this time, I mean, sports has continued apparently. Everybody's basketball team getting sick. Football practice has continued, even though they didn't play any games. So
college basketball starts this week.
No games. Let's just catch COVID for the fun of it.
Yeah, right. But we got to keep that weight program. We don't want y'all to be behind. So, we really know where our priorities are, man. I don't know how bad it would have to get, maybe bleeding from the eyes before people would actually just sit at home and chill for any prolonged amount of time. So, let's see. Talk to my mom and no worries. I was thinking this was going to be like a big debate. Like, I haven't seen the grandkids in forever. Like, I have to come up there, But nope, she was just like, oh, no, I've been and said I wasn't coming up there. She just didn't tell me. So that was cool. She was like, no, there's too many people with COVID. She's like, I don't want to risk getting it, and I don't want to risk y'all getting it. So she was just like, nah, I'll just have to wait. She's like, I miss y'all, but I'm not coming. So I was like, cool. So that's not an issue. So I just been sitting around kind of, I don't know, just living life, spending time with my family as everybody should be doing. Hug the people you love and enjoy their company because, you never know. And I ain't saying that because of COVID. I'm just saying you never know. That's just life. And
don't hug the people you love unless they live in your household. You're trying to give them COVID.
Yeah. So my wife and I sat down. We watched the HBO Max Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion. Check that out. And it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. A lot of things that I forgot about the show that had happened. So it was good feels, good memories. Checking that out. And the amazing part was, spoiler alert, they put the old Aunt Viv on there at the end and had a sit down with Will.
Who has been spent every day since she got kicked off the show going at Will's neck. That's wild.
She has. Anytime I've seen anything about Fresh Prince, she got on the video and started talking about
it. She probably I don't know if she done a Vlad video, but I'm pretty sure she did a Vlad video. She did it at his neck, man.
Yeah. So, and I don't know. At the time, I didn't mind it because, if that's your truth, speak your truth. And Will is so big now that he's not going to really talk about it with nobody. So it was interesting. I believe the way they cut it up. I don't know. I ain't rocking with dude's apology because I don't think it was a real apology. There was a whole bunch of times where he should have said sorry, but he didn't. And she ended up saying sorry first. Mm-hmm. How's she saying sorry first? You actually did some shady stuff and you didn't help her renegotiate or whatever you needed to do because he could have if he wanted to. Just say it. They're not going to kick you off the show. You're Will Smith. You are the character, but he didn't stick up for her at all. They did kind of hash it out or whatever. They hugged. They said they was cool. She came out and hugged people on the set, but I feel like they did that at the end and they just came back and threw her in oh man, it's going to seem messed up if you don't talk to the other Aunt Viv. We better have her come in because it was still a lot of parts that she was not involved in that she would have been had they made up before the taping of said reunion show. So
did they bring back everybody? I mean, obviously Uncle Phil wasn't there, but they had.
Well, yeah, Uncle Phil couldn't because he's passed away. Everybody else was there.
They had Uncle.
Jazz was on there.
They had Hillary's husband that
Jeffrey
died in the.
No, they did not have him on there. This is the main cast. They ain't trying to get everybody. They even brought the little boy back. That was their little bitty son.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I forgot
about. Yeah, a little funny looking dude. He a funny looking grown man now.
Is the butler still alive? Is my man Rafael De La Ghetto still alive?
De La Ghetto is still alive,
man.
And apparently that was just how he talked. So
that's how he talked.
That was. Yeah, I think so. It sounded like it. He didn't speak much, but
that's what I always thought. When I watched the show, I was like, man, this dude, if you know anything about acting, I bet you that dude probably was really into Broadway. I bet you that dude has played King Lear or Othello in some serious production of, and then he was just reduced to hey, I'm the butler, and he's most famous for being the butler on some little silly show when he's done some deep serious acting. But yeah, if that's his real voice, man, I bet you he has done some serious acting. That I never knew.
Yeah, I think so. So if you got a chance, I know, Paul, I know you got HBO Max, even though you can't stream it to nothing.
I know, man. I saw you sent me the little link to try to do that, but I ain't got no 4K TV, so I'm out on that one.
You can just mirror your screen of your phone and then play.
I'm lazy, man. I'm just lazy.
It's not hard. That's not lazy. It's the same.
I'm lazy. I'm lazier than that, man. But yeah, I'll give it a shot.
So just hit that. It'll work because I did it so I could watch Rick and Morty. Because one night I just wanted to watch Rick and Morty before bed, and I couldn't pull it off. I didn't want to stay in the basement. But yeah, so Phenom, you check that out too when you get a chance. It's pretty dope. And that made me then watch quite a few episodes of Fresh Prince the next morning, Saturday morning, with the kids. Little daughter seemed like she liked it a little bit. Them first episodes was pretty goofy, man. Will was he was clowning for sure, just being a an idiot. But that's cool. It worked out. I'm glad I got a chance to see his character change on there because I liked his character later on, I guess, than what I saw in these first episodes. I was just like, wow, this is Goofy as a mug right here. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So shout out to them. That's pretty much it. And Paul, I want to throw it back to you, man. Are you going to give myself and Phenom, so Ghetto Phenom and Mossberg Amazing, 5 mics for our rapping ability, man?
Man, what?
Where's our trophy?
I haven't listened. I haven't done a full deep dive into it. I got the link still, but I haven't done it yet. But I'm going. Look, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it this week. Sit down this weekend. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to break down bar for bar. I'm going to see where y'all stand.
All right. You better, man. If you don't, we better. We gonna talk about this next episode. You don't get another episode after this.
It's in there.
If you don't come back with our 5 mics,
man. It's happening this week.
And I figured because he didn't say anything in the group chat, I was like, oh, he must be saving it for the pod. I was like,
that's what I thought too.
He's gonna have something on the pod. Nothing. I will say, Ryan, you got to open up. You got to grant me some rights on there, because I tried to put something in there today and I didn't have the rights because I got a couple things I got that I don't think you have. So
all right, open it up. I need
it might be on there. Just ask me, because let me know what it is, because I probably got it, but I know I got some songs under you and I know I got some songs in there that are just me. So I got your songs. Definitely.
Yeah, but I think I did some stuff with Ghost. I got
if I'm not on it, then no, you ain't in
probably
there.
A song that I did solo. That
I got Never. I do have that.
Yeah, I saw that. No, I went through it, and we'll talk about it more next week. But it was some of those songs like I forgot about.
Me
I was
too.
Like, until I started listening or until I saw the title, I was like, oh, I forgot we did that, and I was like, oh, so yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about it next week. That actually was just kind of dope for me this week, just going back and listening to those. And I actually been driving around bumping some of those this week. So
going where? Where the hell you going, man?
I gotta go. I gotta go into the office.
That's right.
Man. I go to work every day. So
forgot about that. Going back to the office, man. Look, man, we ain't going back to our office till they told us we ain't going back to our office till at least April, man. That's how wild it is at my job. Like, no, you stay home till April, man.
I don't know.
This thing ain't never gonna end.
I don't know what we gonna do. I guess I'm gonna get calls saying come into the office.
Come on
for some meetings.
Come on in for
some meetings for no reason. All right. So let's see. So we did talk about COVID a little bit. So I know we got these vaccines coming out. Paul wants to know if we're gonna take these vaccines. I, sir, at least the wife is gonna have to take it since she's a nurse. So I guess if she doesn't die, then yeah, we'll be taking the vaccine. So, but anyway, once that's how it's going to be, kind of, whoever takes it first. But I think it'll be fine. I don't think, I guess the worst that can happen is you'll actually just get COVID. So I guess that's the worst that I think will happen. I don't think we're going to pop up with something new.
Well,
it's still a vaccine. It's not like a chemical.
Well, you know what's interesting about these vaccines? These 2 vaccines they're trying. They're these new type of vaccines, and I forget what the name of it is. I've heard some discussions about this, but they're not like the old vaccines that you're used to hearing. You hear about like the flu, and it's like it's like a little mini dose of the flu in the flu shot, and so they basically do that. This is not that. This is like they've mapped out genes or whatever like that, and so basically this replicates like the response or forces your body to get the response, but it's not the actual there's no COVID virus, and supposedly that's what they say.
Well, so they do is they give you like a protein of the coronavirus, but not like the full coronavirus. So you're right, they kind of map out the DNA and they just give you enough of it where it recognizes the protein, but the protein can't make you sick because it's not the full virus. But your antibodies will recognize it like, yo, this ain't supposed to be here. Attack it. So if you do get the real virus, the full virus, then you can handle it. But
you can still get sick off it, just not. I mean, your body, or maybe you'll feel sick because your body response maybe is overwhelming or whatever like that to you, but it's not supposedly not the real virus in there. It's in this new type of, and I don't know if there's been any major viruses or vaccines that like this that have been out. This is something kind of new. It seems
because normally they use a dead version or a weakened version of the virus.
Yeah, no, that's kind of the different, and that's part of the reason why like Ryan and I were talking about like the one version, the Pfizer joint, they got to keep it at 94 degrees, minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit,
which is
during
crazy.
transportation and storage, man, which is doable. But yeah, you can see like you need special equipment. You got to be really careful about it and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting, man. But I just want to see like, because Ryan, and it really is for Ryan, because you're the conspiracy brother more than anything. But like, you hear a lot of people talking about like,
not with science.
But you hear a lot of, I'm just talking about in general, you hear a lot of people talking about like, I don't know about this vaccine, and they'd be asking the presidential candidates, would you take it? And Joe Biden's like, if the scientists say it's ready, I'll take it. I'll be in first in line to do it, stuff like that. But I mean, you hear a lot of stuff on, Twitter, you hear stuff out there, and people skeptical, man. Like, oh, I don't want it. You hear about like, oh, it's the way to tag you, to get the information, which is dumb because people be
people say it's a microchip. Do you know what a microchip is? It's a microchip.
But but you hear people like, no, I don't want to. I'm not going to take it. Or I'm gonna wait. Let everybody. And yeah, you more likely just regular folks like us, because we're not in first line responder jobs. We probably gonna have to wait till later in the year to get it. But
right.
Like you said, your wife, my mom, maybe Phenom, because his job and things like that, you might get a little earlier than everybody else. So I just want to see what people think.
And Phenom, I know that you said earlier that you were going to wait a little bit now, but for those microchip people, I need to let y'all know that y'all do have a microchip on you already. It's called your cell phone.
Right.
You never put everything in there. It's always by you. It listens to everything, but hey, don't get that virus because it could be a microchip in it.
Right.
You already got the microchip, bro. Thanks.
Facts. And cell phone, the government, and this ain't conspiracy, it's reality.
Yeah.
They made companies start to have it enabled where they could turn on your phone and listen. Like if they suspect you of being a terrorist or something, like unless you take the battery out of your phone, which most phones you can't take the battery out anymore. Like the government can just turn your phone on and listen, even if the phone is turned off. So yeah, worrying about a chip in a vaccine is crazy. However, I definitely am one of those people where I'm like, I'm not being first in line. I'm just not doing it. It is not out of the realm of reality that the government would try to test some stuff. They've done that on black folks before. So I don't think that's the case. More so, my concern would just be that it's not ready. And I think a lot of people, just given the political kind of fight about this, and people just want to make sure that all the precautions were taken. So yeah, I would wait, let that first group get it. If don't nobody die, or I won't say don't nobody die, but if most people are relatively healthy, then hey, I'm all for it.
Listen, man,
I think for the most part, the worst that's going to happen is it doesn't work and it doesn't give you protection against COVID.
They say it's like 90.
So then you're
right now
basically
they're talking
the
about 95% effective, which is amazing.
They don't want to get sued. Like the lawsuits are not going away. A lawsuit possibility is not going away. And technically they're saying that they didn't rush it. They probably didn't. It's not rushing. The only thing that's rushed is the paperwork to get it reviewed.
Well, the thing that's rushed, and I mean, I think it seems like they have taken their due diligence, despite Trump had been putting a lot of pressure on these companies because he wanted to get it done before the election,
of course,
so he could have that.
And which they might have
after.
No,
after they released the information.
I'm sure Trump has a point, but I'm sure that these drug companies, they probably looked at it like, hey man, we're like a few weeks away from an election. We're not going to try to give neither one of these candidates any, because if they come out with the news, on October 15th that, hey, this thing is 95% effective, which they did, a few days after the election, it's going to look like they're seeing favor in Trump. And so they, I think they just made a decision like, hey man, we're going to just keep this quiet until after the election,
I don't think so. I think with something like that, especially
you also could not give him no extra points and just get him up out of there and then put it out.
Money tied up.
I think that's what they did. I think they just said, hey, we're just not announcing these results until after the election because
I don't think
we don't want to be seen favoring anybody, either one. Because if it came out on October 15th, Trump would have. That's all he would have talked about for the last like 3
But
weeks
that
of the
would have
election.
been good for them financially. That would have been a big boon
I think
for
financially they get it either way.
these companies because
they
the
probably
stock
straight.
market would have started going up earlier. So now they're going to start hitting more of those goals, earlier in the fiscal year or whatever. Like,
Mhm.
I don't think the companies were thinking about the politics in terms of when they announced it at all. But the
Because whoever first, technically, they get paid. So
right, really. And, but I think the biggest thing is where they've kind of rushed it is on the trials, because usually like you go through trials in a certain order, you go with this many people and then you get the results, and you go this many people and get the results and this many people. Well, because they're trying to get this emergency authorization or whatever, they're skipping some of those last trials. Now it seems like it's going to be safe and it seems like it's going to be fine, but like you really don't know. If you do 100 people, okay, yeah, you get a little sample. You do 1,000 people, okay, yeah. But until you do like 100,000 people on a test, you really don't know how it scales up. So that's where they're cutting a little bit of corners, but I think they'll be fine.
Listen
But
to me,
I'm
man.
still not first in line.
Listen to me. If the money's there, if whatever it costs, and I can afford it, like, man, I'm stepping over old people to get that. Go ahead and shoot me up, man. Look, y'all talking about y'all ain't gonna be first. Like, go ahead and give it to me, man. They talking about 95% effective. Look, man, I've been in the military, man. They done shot me up with all kinds of crazy stuff, I'm sure. So, what's one more shot, man? Go ahead and give it to me. Give me the microchip. Whatever you want to do, I don't care, man. Knock it out.
Plus, they need you to live longer so that you can pay off your student loan debt. So is that what you're going to do with the extra time that you have? Work harder to pay off your student loan debt? Or
Man.
will it be forgiven, Paul? This is something you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, man. I mean,
this week.
This kind of gets it back into politics a little bit, man. But y'all been following the news, I'm sure, and all three of us went to college, and I know I don't know about Phenom situation, but I know Ryan. I know Ryan was wilding with the FAFSA checks coming through. I know he was.
Too much so.
Yeah, we can get into that in a second too. But Biden, one of his pledges, I think he stole this from Elizabeth Warren, but but this is a good steal. I ain't gonna be mad at him, but he's trying to appeal to the younger base, out there. And so he's basically talking about some student loan forgiveness. I think, and don't quote me right now, it's fluid, nothing's official, but I think he's talking about everybody first $10,000 of student loan outstanding, you get off. And I think there is some talk about like certain kids that go to like public universities and HBCUs, maybe getting rid of all that. If your like income is below a certain threshold, so like if you've been, you've been out in the working world and you're still making like less than, whatever, 50,000, 75,000 a year, they might wipe that out if you went to a public HBCU, a public university and stuff like that. So I think that's the tentative plan, but at least it sounds like $10,000 off for everybody. So, so that's been the kind of the announcement, and he wants to do that, almost day one is what it sounds like. Now, will it get done? How's it going to go? How's it going to get paid for? That all needs to be sorted out. But it's been a lot of discussion out there in the online about like, I don't want to. This is why should I help pay these kids stuff off when they made bad decisions, or nobody helped me with my student loans, and so I just wanted to throw it to y'all. Talk about y'all's experience with student loans, if y'all had any. Phenom, I'm not really sure if you did or not, although I assume. And then, like, what do you think about the current situation about maybe giving people a little break on their student loans? And I'll kick it to Phenom first, since I don't really know what his financial situation was in college.
Yeah, in college, I did take out student loans. I still have some student loan debt. It's nothing crazy, but I definitely do have it. And so for me, I mean, during college, I kind of worked in, I did the RA thing. And so I got my room and board kind of paid for because I stayed on campus almost the entire time I was in college. And I had the room and board paid for in later years, but I definitely had to take out loans and Pell Grants and all that stuff. So I got some debt, still working, trying to pay that off. But like I said, it's nothing crazy or outrageous. But at one point it was. I mean, at one point I kind of went into default because it was just like I wasn't making a lot of money. I wasn't paying that student loan, like especially once I got out of college. Initially that was the last thing on my mind, worried about paying student loan. Psh, I got car note.
Put on a 100-year amortization, right? That's what you said. Everybody does that, right?
I was like, I'll pay that later. I'll pay that when I get old or whatever. I ain't worried about that. And then eventually Uncle Sam came knocking like, yeah, we need that. So we just gonna take it. If you ain't gonna pay us directly, we just gonna take it out your check for you. So, I'd been through that little process again. This was a long time ago. And but now I still have some, but it's manageable. It's something that I plan on taking care of, just get that out the way. But yeah, I got it. But at the same time, I feel like I'm not one of those people that feels like, oh, you shouldn't wipe out student loan debt, or you shouldn't take care of people because some people already paid. Like, I've paid a certain amount off of mine, and if I wouldn't be mad if they paid off yours, like even completely, even if somebody had, I never had a huge amount, but let's say somebody had 100,000. If the government wipes it out, good for them. I'm happy because that's a weight off of their shoulders. So yeah, I don't get the haters that like, well, you're just irresponsible and blah, blah, blah. Like, people go to public school for high school, or, we got public education. Man, take that burden off of people for college if it's possible, because that's just like an albatross on people. And honestly, college shouldn't cost as much as it does.
Right.
That's the real issue right there.
Like,
now
people coming out of college with $100,000 in student loans. Like, that's ridiculous. Back in the day, college would cost you $5,000 a year or $1,000 a year. So, people would come out of college with 8,000 or 9,000 in student loans. Well, now people coming out with 50, 100,000. That's outrageous.
Yeah. And so, I mean, keep in mind, like, I went to undergrad basically twice, and I went to grad school for a year and a half, probably. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot. And basically, it's not even about just getting rid of it. Just make it where somebody can actually pay it. Right. I mean, the amount of money that they tell you that you have to pay monthly is ridiculous.
Yep.
Like, it's crazy. Like, I can't have a student loan payment that is a house note or more than my car. Yeah. And I mean, like, an expensive car. That's crazy. Anybody out here saying that, other people shouldn't be paid off because theirs is paid off, you was doing pretty good in life that you paid yours off. Yeah. So just chill. And don't be hating on other people. I wouldn't be mad if I paid mine off. I'd be like, oh man, I wish they could have got rid of mine too. But I don't expect them to just erase everybody's, because what are you just going to do that one time and then everybody else up? You just wasn't born at the right time kind of thing. I guess they could do that. But if you could just make it where people can pay it, man. I mean, if it's $200 a month, $300 a month, okay, fine. You can make a way to pay that. But if your bill is like $800 a month, y'all tripping. Like, can't do that.
The crazy part is that they get, the rules is like, well, first of all, you can never, I mean, you can't, like, you can go in default, but you can't, you can file bankruptcy. That stuff goes with you, man. That stuff ain't never, until you die. Like, and look, and when you die, like, it'll go to your wife or whatever. I mean, they probably got some way to figure it out. Wife. Okay, well, hopefully not. But but on top of that,
I looked it up.
When they,
but it wasn't always like that. I think in the 70s, a lot of people did that. Like, they graduated and they just defaulted and declared bankruptcy. So the government had to change that.
Makes sense.
To where they wouldn't allow it.
But also back in the 70s, like, I mean, the crazy thing about all this is, like, I went back and look, Ryan, I go back and look at, like, pull up like University of Memphis, like, tuition costs, and look for like 2020.
Oh, really?
And let's see what, man, it's like, so when I graduated, I had like a little over $20,000 in student loan debt for myself, and that was out of state. and my wife had like maybe like 7,000-8,000. And so at first I paid mine off. Then I got, we were about to get married. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and we want to get this house. Let me get hers paid off. So I had a rush to, knock her whatever she had left. Maybe like 5,000-6,000 at the time. But man, that was not easy. But like, if you go out now, man, it's like at University of Memphis, which is not expensive school, it's like $35,000 a year is what they say. Their tuition recommendation thing. It's like $30,000. Like the price is just it's rising so much faster than pretty much anything else you can think of. So like even when we went to college, was cheap compared to what's going on now. And without fixing that, I don't see this $10,000 here and there is nice and stuff like that. And it'll help people. But until you fix that, man, I don't see how you do that. What it's not going to do anything for these future generations, even if you give them $10,000, because $10,000 ain't even covering one half of one semester, man, which is crazy if you think about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm reading these tweets from Board Panda. So they had a bunch of people just saying how much their student loans are and how much they are now, considering they pay some off. One lady said, "I graduated with $38,200 in loans. To date, I've paid $20,700, and my balance is $37,000."
Yeah, because
so it only went down, and it didn't even go down $1,000. Like that's crazy.
And I also believe, let's say you take out, $30,000 on your first day of college. I think, and then you don't graduate. I think like interest accrues the whole 4 years you sit in college. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, which maybe it should, I don't know, but that puts you behind that puts you behind, man. So it's really coming off.
Interest on a student loan shouldn't be more than a house.
You basically what student loans, you can't pay the minimum. If you pay the minimum, you'll never pay it off, man. That's basically what it is. You gotta like get aggressive with it. You live at home for a year or two. I don't know what you got to do, but you got to figure some kind of way to get way ahead of it. And you got to put out big bucks. And I remember having to do that, man. I remember like, I didn't buy not a new car when I got, not a brand new car, but I just had the same car from college for like several years. And that was like, just trying to make it work so I could pay that stupid thing off. Cause I was like, man, this is a lot of dang money. But if it was today, it'd be a lot more money, which is crazy. I don't know if I'd get out from under it, man. It's kind of wild.
Dang. This person said they went to medical school, $365,000.
Oh yeah,
and they said they paid $2,500 a month, and the current balance is $350,000.
Well, they've said
they paid for 6.5 years. That's crazy.
They said like Michelle and Barack, like they didn't even pay their student loans off until like right before he took the office of presidency. Man, ain't that crazy, man? The dude was like a local dude, and I guess he was like a congressman or senator or whatever like that. But he had student loans until right up until that first book deal, and that's when they paid their student loans off, because it was hundreds of thousands of dollars, because it was like Harvard and whatnot. Man, it's just. That's crazy, man. Like we have
because once you become a senator, I don't think you even pay for lunch no more.
Probably not.
Everything's free. Apparently, when you're in the government, must be nice.
Yeah, them state senators make like $30,000 a year,
and don't pay for nothing. So it works out. If you don't have to pay for no gas, you don't have to pay for nothing. They just pay for everything. You're straight.
That's not true, because you can't get. You're very limited in what you can get as like gifts, as free gifts, so I don't think that's true at all. It's just that senators just seem like rich, or politicians, because they have a lot more opportunities. Like they get speaking jobs. You could just go get paid to give a speech. So even though you might be making
so you may as well get a gift, right? That's what it is.
You said what?
It may as well be a gift, because that's what it is. Hey, you're overpaid to talk just because of your job.
Public speaking, man.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. Anyway, thanks for bringing that up, Paul.
No, you want to talk about your experience with like a student loan refund day when you balled out of control?
Heck no.
Phenom, do you have any good stories about?
I ain't balled out of control. I was doing what I thought was a good idea, but it turned out to be a bad idea. That's all right.
You didn't flip it. You didn't do like Ice Cream Man and Mr. Master P and like flip it. You weren't trying to flip your student loan refund check.
Nah,
I wasn't going crazy at all. Like the one thing I remember, like desperately kind of waiting for a refund check is actually when I went to Mexico to study abroad. I was counting on my refund check to kind of fund me, being down there, and it got delayed some kind of way. So I was down in Mexico like broke, because my student loan refund check like had not gotten in yet. So it was like my group was going to Acapulco and I didn't have any money. I was just like, yo, I had been calling. My mother had been calling the school like, hey, what's going on with this refund check? And they like, they didn't know. They were just waiting on it. And so I didn't think I was going to be able to go to Acapulco. I thought I was just going to have to stay where I was while everybody else went. And then luckily, actually, the host mother, she basically like loaned me what amounted to probably like $150 in US. And she just loaned it to me and was like, hey, because I had explained the situation. And she was like, hey, here, just take this. And, she's like, once you get back and get your money, just make sure you send it back. And I was like, oh, definitely. And she kind of grabbed me back and was like, no, for real.
Seriously.
Make sure you send my money back. So I was appreciative.
We're going to send the people for you.
Acapulco and kick it.
Listen, man. Hey, if you hadn't sent that $150, look, man, you've been buried somewhere off the shore of Acapulco for sure. They murder you over $150 down there, man. No joke. It's like 850 pesos.
Hey, that was the first thing. As soon as I got back, once I got back, I saw my money was in my account. That was the first thing I did. I put that check in the mail. I was like, here you go. Wasn't no Cash App back then, and I'm sure you could wire transfer, but. Nah, let me send her money right now.
Do y'all know any good stories about people balling out with the student loan refund? Just be real though, man, because we know what happened, man. We know.
I don't really think. I mean, we was irresponsible to a degree, man. But I don't think anybody was really just being, just doing too much. I don't personally know anybody that was doing that. I don't recall.
Gotcha.
I mean, you went and bought some clothes or whatever. You went and got some shoes, but heck, by the time we got a refund check to buy that stuff, like I needed clothes and I needed shoes. Like it ain't because I was balling out, it was never that.
Yeah, I wasn't in nobody else's pockets like that in their finances. So I don't know. I say I probably went to a nice little party or something or, threw a full tank in the car because back then I would maybe put $10 in the tank, rarely ever. So maybe when I got that refund check, I went ahead just
fill it up. All right, you remember the days when you was balling because you could fill up your tank? That's crazy.
Go ahead and give me the 87 this time. Go ahead, living the life.
Right, 92. All right. So what y'all want to do? Y'all want to talk about this NBA draft, or you want to? Go on and end the podcast.
Yeah, we'll talk about the NBA stuff.
Yeah, that's easy.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about this NBA draft. So NBA draft, normally on this show, we do the NBA Mama Mock Draft, and we talk about it. But honestly, I didn't watch it. I didn't know none of these dudes, and I was just like, I kind of don't care. Outside of LaMelo and maybe a couple other cats that I had saw and checked out tape of them. So, Paul, it's on you. Was it anybody worth us talking about, or what'd you see out there as far as the NBA Mama Mock Draft goes?
Man, the Mama Mock Draft was trash because like they had everything. The Zoom it don't work.
Trash mamas. Is that how it works?
I need the draft room. I need the mamas with the good outfits. I need 3-4 camera. And that's the important thing. 3-4 camera. The fixed Zoom camera. The wide shot with the whole family.
Oh, that's right. They were at home. Okay.
Yeah, they were all
so
at
they
home.
Were at home. Were they still dressed up? I told you they would.
Were dressed up. Yeah, a lot. Actually, it was kind of crazy. A lot of the players had they must have rented out like a banquet hall or something like that. A lot were at home, but a lot of people that you could like the Ball family. They were obviously somewhere like a gym or some kind of restaurant or something.
It was at Lonzo House.
Maybe so, but it had a lot of people behind them. Like the family was up front, and they had a lot of people. But it was crazy. But a lot of people with no masks out there, or masks with the nose hanging out, and stuff like that. So it was like, okay, y'all just waiting for the COVID to hit y'all, which is crazy. But yeah, man, I mean that part of the draft, I missed that part, the mama part. But other than that, man, it was interesting, man. This year was really hard because like usually I use March Madness to get myself, okay, follow this dude, follow that dude. And we had no March Madness this year. So a lot of these dudes, like, unless they were playing for my team, or one of the big names, which there really ain't big names in college basketball anymore, especially this year. And I just didn't follow, man. So I had no clue about these dudes. So I was just kind of like learning about them myself, during the draft. But it was interesting, man. There was, nothing too great. And then ESPN, man. ESPN is trash and they do this for everything. But like, I'm so sick of them asking these people like, hey, give me a tragedy to have in your life, and let's do a package about it. And so they be talking about like, yeah, this dude got like a 6'10" wingspan. He's 6'3". He's got a 6'10" wingspan, and his grandmother died of cocaine, 7 years ago. Let's talk about. Let's do 5 minutes on. They every draft person that they did like a prepackage on, it was always like some kind of tragedy. Like this dude lost his cat, his pet cat when he was in 3rd grade, or this dude lost his brother, or this dude lost his grandmother, or this dude lost his great grandfather. Or like this dude's great grandfather was in the Tuskegee experiment. I mean, it was just like every single one. You know what I'm talking about, Phenom. You know what I'm talking about.
His uncle went to jail for selling rocks.
Right.
87.
And they must have
isn't that every black person's story though?
They might, but ESPN be having like first of all, they ask you the personal question like, tell us what this moment means. What would you think if you're the
first thing you gonna they ask them that?
If your great grandfather Rollo Jenkins Cleophas III that was killed during the slave revolt of 1857, what would you think if he was here to see you now and going to the NBA? And then they just break down crying. It's like, all right, man, you don't need to ask this question. You don't need to like cue up this like real sad music every single time. It's just weird, man. And then to ask every draft pick like that question, have those things. It's always like just strange to me, man.
Phenom, did you watch this draft?
No, I mean I watched a couple picks here and there, but kind of the same as y'all. I didn't know a ton of the players just because there really wasn't college basketball. So I mean I knew some guys, and then just the whole idea of it being at home and Zoom, I was just like, I'm gonna just look at the results. We're kind of in a condensed off season. I wanted to get that draft kind of over with, see what happened, and then get into this like free agency and stuff like that, more so than a draft. So I watched bits and pieces of it, but I didn't sit and watch the whole thing. And I rarely do nowadays. I just will look kind of after the fact, maybe watch the first couple of picks, watch that lottery. I think this year I probably watched the first 4 or 5 picks, and then just kind of went and started doing other stuff and just check it the next day or check it later that evening.
Okay. All right. So did you happen across, I know we wasn't super into it this year, but did you happen across any players that you want to say, hey, this is my pick that I think is going to come out and be something outside of, the first 2 or 3 people? I'm going to go with the dude Patrick Williams from Florida State. I don't know what it is. I thought he had a little 3-and-D kind of guy right now, but I feel like I've heard him talk a few times just about his approach to the game, and then I heard just watching him, I think dude got potential, man. He could probably fix his jump shot easy, and he can kind of do a little bit of everything. So I'm gonna say Jimmy Butler, Ron Artest kind of dude. So we'll see. He's super young, and he didn't play much his freshman year, so but he went number 4.
To Chicago, I think, right?
Yeah, Chicago. Patrick Williams. But if y'all don't have nobody, that's cool too. I understand.
I'll throw since you got the name out there, Precious Achiuwa. I'll put him out there. Memphis,
shout out to Precious.
Product. Yeah, he went to Miami. I think that's a good location for him. I'm kind of surprised he went as low as he did, man. The dude, he put up numbers for us. We're supposed to have that Wiseman dude. Dude only played 3 games, so it really became his team after Wiseman left. And he put up solid numbers, man. Double, man. And dude's defense is really good. So, I mean, the dude, I think he's going to fit right in and being around Jimmy Butler. I see him kind of like a bigger Jimmy Butler, man. The dude, he doesn't have the game, but he just his work ethic. He works out. He's a workout beast. Got good defense. So I'm excited to see what he does down there. Hope it works out for him down there. So that's a name I'm looking for. And the Wiseman dude, of course, and then all the Grizzly guys. That's what I'm looking for. Did y'all see the white mom with the kente cloth outfit? Did y'all think about that one?
We can come back to that. Let Phenom answer.
Okay.
Oh no, I was gonna say I'm gonna have to go back and look and see. There were a couple of guys, but I don't even remember off the top. I think the guy Green that went to Dallas. I think I was kind of pleasantly surprised by his tape, but I had to go back and look for it specifically.
Okay.
So go ahead, talk about the Kente woman.
Yeah, there was a dude. I forget which name it was. It was a dude that went to. I'm messing this up. He went to Arizona. Zeke Nnaji, and I forgot what. I think he went to Denver, but I guess he's like Nigerian. Mom's white. A lot of mixed dudes in this draft. I gotta say, man, it's been a trend in the draft. I noticed this, but the dad was from Nigeria. He had the whole.
But is she white from Nigeria though?
No, she white from like Sacramento, whatever.
White from whiteness.
Boise.
Okay.
But yeah, man. So they did like a little package of like the pictures, like when he was a little kid, and the wife had like the whole garb on. But then during the draft party, she had the kente cloth, and of course, Twitter had jokes for the mom. So they were making fun of the mom, but she was looking super excited for her baby making to the NBA. So she had the kente cloth dress on, and so there were a lot of funny memes of Dr. Umar looking at her with the side stuff like that. So I don't know.
Hey, I gave her a pass only because I thought everybody else had on a kente cloth. So it's like somebody might have told her, "Yo, get this kente cloth so you can match us." And in that case, you outruled by black delegation. You kind of got to do it. Like, you in the fam now. You got to do it.
Yeah.
So then the fault lies with them, and they should have said something to her. So that's the only reason why I'm going to give her that small bit of rope.
Phenom, you cool with the kente cloth on the white lady?
Yeah, I'm cool with the kente cloth. Why would I not be cool with the kente cloth? She was there supporting her son. She was there, like I say, a lot of other folks were wearing it. It's not like she was appropriating it. She was there in support, so I'm down with it. Get off that lady back.
That's right. Yeah, it was jokes, man. It was funny. The other funny moment I saw during this, and this is when I was watching. It was kind of middle, and this is like right after the kente cloth lady. There was a dude. What's his name? Malachi Flynn. He went to San Diego State. I don't know which team drafted him. Forgive me for that, but they showed a family photo of this dude with I guess his mom and like all his sisters. They all super duper light skinned. Again, a trend I saw in the draft, and I put this in the group chat. For whatever reason, they got a family photo with all the kids, or all the sons and wife beaters. And it's 2020. This ain't from like 1984. This is like a 2019 joint. All the dudes and wife beaters. I don't understand it. And, like his brother got a big ass forehead. Like, man, this is not a good looking family. But what do y'all think about wife beater family photos? Like, what's going on?
It's called an A shirt. It's an A shirt. We can't say that anymore.
Okay. Well, what do you think about A shirt photo family photos? You rocking with you agreeing with this?
Again, I had to dip into my imagination to try to make up an excuse for these people, because there had to be one. There's no way in the 2000s that you just was like, all right, let's do this with these matching wife beaters. I think something happened. Everybody was matching. The young boys must have came in with something crazy, a T-shirt, something with a saying on the front, something like that. And the mom was like, you cannot do that on these pictures. Mm-hmm. But they had already paid. So it was just like, look, your T-shirt's white. Take your shirt off. We're just going to do it.
Phenom, what about you? Because I got a hot take on this one. But I'm going to let you go first.
I don't know what caused it. I mean, I'm against group matching in general. Mm-hmm. And so,
Phenom got 100 pictures with him and his baby with matching
Definitely.
like Coca-Cola shirts on.
Definitely.
Come on now. Phenom does.
If you look at a picture, you see that the women, they have on matching shirts too. So, right. It seems like this was the plan. Like, they have on the matching undershirts. The women have on their matching little dresses or whatever. So I think that's just like they thought that was cool. Like, this looks like, when I look at this family, this looks like a family that does corny stuff like this. And there's no shade to them, but it is what it is. they thought that was something that was going to be cool to do.
Look, this is my take on it. I'm looking at the picture. It's 6 kids, 1 mom down the bottom of the corner. Look at the mom's face. The mom's face is like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep my head above water. I got 6 kids. You see, there's no dad in this picture. All these kids are by the same dude, but he ain't in this picture with us. So that tells you something right there. And so that's why these kids have white feeders on. The mom just kind of like, I don't know. Here's this Sears background in the back, man. They struggling.
They thought that they could run the Burlington Coat Factory real quick and pick up 3 matching shirts. Couldn't find 2 out of the 3. And they were just like, dang, we got to find something to do. And it's just like, we could just wear white T-shirts.
Actually, you know what? I assume that dude in the upper right is like the older brother, but I could be wrong. But that dude got a lot of forehead on him, man. Like, I don't know, man. That dude could be he could be 27. He could be 53. I'm not really sure, man. There's no in between with that dude, man. A lot of
yeah, definitely. Okay. All right. And the thing that stood out to me most is the names of NBA players is changing. Mm-hmm. I am one that I love watching the NFL draft. For one, I love seeing black people get rich.
Word.
And I love to see the crazy names that the NFL has. NBA has some wild names, but not as many as the NFL. Mm-hmm. You got to have a crazy name to be in the NFL. And I was thinking, there's some names on here that I was just like, yo, I wouldn't draft that dude with that name. So I picked out 3.
Okay.
Jay Scrubb, who I heard is a pretty dope shooting guard. Mm-hmm. He was drafted by the Clippers. If your last name's Scrubb, I can't. I might be like, there's no way this dude can hoop. I might change my mind if I come in and you really a baller like that. But 9 times out of 10, I'm not even going to come to your game. I'm not even going to get to scout you. So if I'm the GM, I might get fired over that one. Your boy from Memphis, Precious.
Yeah, Precious.
His first name is Precious. I immediately giggled when I saw that. And I Googled and I was like, this has to be a meaning. And apparently, so his brothers' names are like God's gift, mm-hmm. God's grace. So everybody's got a name like that. And he just happened to end up with Precious. That's rough. Mm-hmm. I can imagine the teasing that he received during grade school for his name being Precious. So shout out to him. But I probably wouldn't have been able to draft you with a straight face. And then the last one, Tyrese Halliburton. Your last name is Halliburton, bro. Like, if that ain't the whitest name of all time, I don't know what is. Tyrese saves him. But Halliburton on the back of your jersey is, I don't know. I don't know what I would do at the draft combine. I'd just be like, who is this dude? They'd be like, Halliburton, sir. What? Like, all right, man, we got to save him for the second round.
Mm-hmm.
But I know he can hoop too. So,
and it's also don't forget his first name is Tyrese, which like, what was your mom on when she was like naming you after the dude from Baby Boy? That's like crying. What more do you want from me?
He gotta have something. He gotta have something. His last name is Halliburton. He's still black.
Yeah, a lot of Nigerian dudes, or I should just say African.
A lot of African names.
Every time I see anybody with a name, and again, Ryan, you know where this comes from, but like anybody I see when their name, the last name starts with NW, I just assume it's Nigerian. I'm guessing.
It probably is.
Not to be jokes. That's true. I guess they are, but there were a lot of Nigerian dudes. The dude Precious, he's Nigerian some kind of way too.
Mm-hmm.
So they just got, different names because they come from over there. But anytime I see the NW, I know that at least I learned something, so that's usually a Nigerian. But yeah, their names just be, it'd be harder to pronounce for us. That's all. Just a little weird.
Yo, when it comes to names, like one thing when I'm looking at players and assessing their star potential, I can't lie. I always do think like, does this name sound like a superstar name? Can I imagine like people saying like, oh, Box Wine Poppy for 3? Like, that don't really sound right. And
right.
So,
my name can't be an NBA name. That's not an NBA name.
Yeah. So I'm going to go out here on the limb, and I don't know a ton about him, I'll admit, but Anthony Edwards, it's
don't
not
sound
a
like
bad
star.
name, but it don't sound superstar like. So I'm gonna say
like a bust.
Anthony Edwards is gonna be a bust because he don't got a number 1 overall name. Sorry.
Facts.
Yeah,
he got a lot to overcome.
He's the number 1 draft pick. That dude, he was solid. That dude was on like 400 teams, but he was never like really just elite for being a number 1 draft pick. Y'all remember that dude, right? I'm sure y'all do.
Who's that?
Me,
Joe Smith. Remember Joe Smith? bounced.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he was,
Oh
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
a good
Joe
player.
Smith.
He played a long time, and he was the number 1 draft pick. But he, just yeah.
Joe Smith can hoop in college though.
But he just floated around. I don't know if he went to college. Maybe, yeah, he
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
he went to Maryland.
Yeah, he was in Maryland.
But he just floated
That was
around.
back when I used to watch college.
Yeah. But he just floated around, man. He had a good career, but like you were, whenever time I thought about his career, I was like, yeah, Joe Smith. Him being named Joe Smith, that makes sense with his career because he was never a superstar because of that name.
I mean, there's some names that break through. We just saying that the odds not in your favor if that's your name.
Gotcha.
All right, and Paul, for our last one, you got a LeVar Ball told LaMelo he not gonna find a good woman in it once he gets to the NBA. So did he wipe something up the other night? What did he do?
I don't remember who I saw he had with him, man. Like what there, but yeah, I mean, that's actually my wife and I. We did kind of want to see like what LeVar, but I've been telling like my wife was like I was telling her my wife like yeah, he's been real quiet. He don't say nothing this draft because maybe the people ain't reaching out to him, but maybe he just don't want the attention. He knows. He knows the game now. He knows how to work it, and so he's just staying quiet.
He got both of his sons drafted in the top 5.
Yeah, he definitely.
So ain't nothing else to talk about.
Let's talk about, but all the shoe stuff, all the the craziness. But I guess I don't know if it was on the Facebook show, but he told LaMelo like, "Oh, you're gonna meet his hoes once you get to the NBA, so you can't find a good woman." And I was like, "Man, that's kind of messed up." But he probably got a point, man. What y'all think?
It's true.
He's got I guess so.
Yeah, unfortunately, man, I'm gonna say it's true because. And this is not a shot at women. This is just a shot at his environment. He will always be surrounded by those more of a gold digging crowd, I think. Real women are not standing in a tunnel waiting on you to get out from the game. They're not hanging out at the club with basketball players when they're there. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be at the escort places with these dudes. They're not going to be in places that they're normally at. And they're going to be at work when they're, out and about. So, no, you're probably not going to meet regular chicks. So if you ain't met them by now, it's going to be hard, rough sailing for you. That's what I think. What you think, Phenom?
I mean, I feel like whatever. You have opportunities. You can meet somebody in any environment.
What was that?
You said what?
What was that sound?
It might have been my couch. I don't know.
It sounded like a scream.
Oh no,
Paul, are you there?
No, I didn't hear nothing.
You didn't? Wow, dude! It apparently there's a spirit in my mic. It sounded like somebody like screamed when Ishmael was talking.
That's the pre-dead me telling you, "Hey, don't come to my funeral. Stay away from my family."
That might have been my couch. It
was just like
couch.
Okay,
but yeah, I mean, I feel like you always can find a partner, especially in the circles that you're running in. So his circles are going to change. Well, maybe not for him. I mean, LaMelo, he has been around Lonzo, and they've been around money for a while. So he's been around rich people. So he'll be able to find somebody. I mean, I think for the average player that's coming from, either a middle class or, maybe a poor upbringing or something like that, like the game changes so much because you go from, you got girls at your high school or whatever that was broke just like you. And then now you're around all these different women and all these different women, a lot of them got money or come from money. And so it kind of changes quickly. But
it was rough then because they was a hooper. Like you probably been a number one dude in the state.
Right.
At least, or maybe in the country. If you Anthony Edwards, like you've been that dude for a minute.
But the problem
you Zion Williamson, you've been that dude for a minute.
But the thing I don't understand about LeVar, like, okay, so you say all this. I mean, obviously this isn't something he probably has learned new. I mean, this is an old dude. He's got his LeVar, or what's the oldest kid name? I forget now, but the dude that's on the Pelicans, whatever like that. So he's got experience with
Lonzo.
NBA kids. Yeah, Lonzo. I forget. Yeah, his name is forgettable to me. But why'd you pull your kid out of regular college? Why'd you put him over in like Pakmanistan to play ball for like 8 months, and then take him over to Australia? Like, if you wanted to have normal, if you say like, oh, you're never gonna find a normal woman, don't you think like find a normal woman is important to him. So like, why didn't you give him those opportunities to do that? Like, let him stay in high school in California where he grew up, instead of having him travel all over the world, basically where he's like a little mini celebrity. I mean, when he went to like Turkmenistan or where the hell he was playing at, like he was in some little no-name town, but I'm sure he was like a superstar down there, because like they don't even have cameras down, TV shows, and they're just following him around down there. And then you go to Australia, it's kind of the same thing. So like, I don't know, the dad's like, he's trying to have it both ways. He's like, oh, you never get this, but also same time you're putting him in a situation where he's thinking like he's a superstar. Just let him
Right
for a little while.
Man,
he
this
gave
dude,
his own shoe in high school. Like
all that stuff.
at that point,
Yeah.
it just
and
wasn't gonna
he had
happen.
the Lambo,
after that.
and he had the Lambo in high school,
Yeah.
right?
If you want,
He was gonna be rich, regardless, because his brother was, in a way. But just the way that they were marketing them, as like all three of them is about to go to the NBA, like, hey, if it wasn't for old boy messing up in UCLA, who knows? So it was gonna happen regardless, man. I don't fault him for that. He had to go. He wanted to make money while he was in high school, and he did. He wanted to shoot while he was in high school so he can make money again. And when you do that, you lose your eligibility. They did what they had to do as far as going overseas. But hey, it is what it is, and it worked.
But if you want your kids to be grounded, man, you got to ground. You got to make them grounded. And I don't know if so I don't know. He's wanted both ways, man. It's tough.
Oh yeah, yeah. He ain't gonna be grounded, but I'm talking in terms of just like dating or whatever. Is he gonna be able to find a normal chick? What is normal?
It had to be another rich. It had to be another rich person's child.
He's gonna have a.
But that ain't. I don't think that's what LeVar means, though.
Yeah, it's not what he means. But I mean, who cares if they're quote unquote normal? Like for me,
Did you want your
do
daughter
find
dating an
somebody
NBA
that
dude?
love you, that you get along with, that you could settle down with, and of course he's 19. He ain't thinking nothing about none of that right now. I mean, he's just trying to have fun out there. But yeah, he'll be fine, man.
I see. I'm gonna watch out for him on the south end of Charlotte. You better watch out, man.
Somebody gonna trap him, just like happened to Zoe. Next thing you know, you having a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, I'm sure he didn't plan on having no baby either. That's how they get you. All right. Well, that's it for this week. So, Paul, if the people want to send LaMelo Ball tips on how not to get chicks pregnant and how to find a good woman, where can they contact us?
I have no clue because he's a phenom.
I guess I say phenom. That's right. That's right. Sorry, I forgot. Paul, don't do that. And I get it.
They could check us out. You could check out the Black Delegates podcast. We're on Facebook. Just search for the name. You can also check us out on Twitter or Instagram at Black Delegates. It's _ between Black and Delegates. If you want to reach out to us individually, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Ghetto Phenom. Boxwine Poppy is on Twitter at Boxwine Poppy, and also the Black Ryan, Instagram and Twitter at the Black Ryan.
Yep.
Paul, if people want to help out the show, if they want to help us grow, if they want to help us to get drafted, if we want to be drafted next year and be at the draft to see the Mama Mock draft in person, what can they do to help us get there?
Man, help me get a vertical. That's what I need first of all.
That 7-inch vertical ain't gonna get it.
Ain't gonna get it, man. And a wet jumper. But yeah, man, if you like the show, man, go out there and give us some feedback, rate us, review us, and tell a friend, man. Tell a friend you like the show. And yeah, man, that's how we go and grow this thing organically, man. Ryan, you got any closing words for us?
Closing words, NBA players, wear a condom. Till you find the right woman, please. If you can abstain, and I mean this, AC Green abstain, do so. It'd be the best thing for you to do. Hopefully you found a nice woman in high school and y'all can stay in touch, be your first love kind of thing, and get married down the line when you're ready, a la LeBron James. But most of you, not going to happen. So what I need you to do is, hey, stay strapped up. Don't get caught up.
They don't care about that. They got money.
They need to.
They
You ain't never got that much money. You got money until you had kids.
They dropping $80,000 on a necklace, 100, 200, 300,000 on a charm or a chain. They ain't worried about them kids. That's a little bitty money.
That's called stupid. That's what I call it. Not only I know nobody ever worried about AIDS no more. That's like nobody catches AIDS, HIV. We only worried about having babies.
No more. Like magic
Don't matter.
beat the system.
Don't
They
matter.
took Magic's DNA. They got their cure, or not the cure, but everything but. So ain't nobody worried about that. But what was funny, when you're talking about abstinence, it reminded me, I saw this post on, I think, Twitter today, where dude posted, he had an abstinence card that he said his school made him sign when he was, he's probably whatever in his 30s or something. He said his school made him sign like this abstinence card, that said like, I promise not to have sex until.
I've heard of that before.
And it had
they did it at BYU, right?
And then he's like, and it doubles as a Domino's 10% off coupon.
Yo, you got to keep that 10%. The second you have sex, you don't get it no more. They'd be like, have you had it? Have you done it yet? Like, no 10% for you, sir.
Yep. So shout out to Domino's Pizza and abstinence cards.
All right. So I know y'all enjoyed that podcast. If you didn't, I don't know what to tell you. Just rate and review us 5 stars anyway, and we will see y'all next week.
Peace.
Picks up about 3 yards.